What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a evening edition. Oh, let's see here. Boop. There we go. Evening edition of Crunch Time. We are back. We ran it once. We're running it twice. We're back with Tim and TJ. TJ, thank you for the home run call. White Sox. I could have used that grand slam for Mr. Tim Anderson, but we'll see if they can hold that. I had a -1.5, hoping that holds. Tim, you bet the over on the Atlanta game, right? And I don't know. They score 6. Did they get any more? Your Brewers one looks good. It looks like we're all doing reasonably well.
Yeah, the Brewers look good. I did not win that Atlanta game. I really thought I was going to, but it ended up 7-0, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, that was that. Couldn't have the sweep. I thought for sure you were going to get that one. So we had a nice early slate. You beat me out. You beat me and TJ out on the Verlander over Cease. So it looks like we got to listen to you today on pitching. So we'll have to see. What do we have here for this slate tonight? We've got Tyler Glasnow. We've got George Kirby. We've got Tanner Beebe, Stroman. It's pretty much just Glasnow and Kirby for me up at the top. On FanDuel, you get one. DraftKings, you can play both of them pretty easily if you want to, or those the two you want to use, and then what's your decision on FanDuel?
Yeah, pitching today for this tonight's slate is incredibly easy compared to what it was earlier. It's obviously Tyler Glasnow on both FanDuel and DraftKings as your SP1. I don't think there's really any debate about that. He doesn't have the highest leash, but I don't think it really particularly matters. His strikeout rate is enormous. He gets a really good matchup against the Mariners. I think that's clear cut. I don't think we have to make too many hard decisions about that. Now, we should touch on this weather report real quick by Roth. He did up the risk in Wrigley, so that does affect Beebe and Stroman. I had some interest, at least on DK, in Beebe, and I think that at least in tournaments, you could have had interest in both Beebe and Stroman. Now it gets real sketchy. So those two are completely taken off the board in terms of cash games. And so it pretty much leaves you with George Kirby. And I think, again, for cash games, it's Glasnow and it's George Kirby. And there really isn't anybody else that I would consider pitching in cash games. Urias is coming back from an injury. He's 9,500 on DraftKings, so you're not getting any kind of discount on him. He's projected to pitch. I would say the bat has him for 75. I think we might have him for a little higher than that, but still, let's say 80. He's too expensive. So I think it's Glasnow and Kirby, and then that's it. And then in terms of some of these cheaper options, I don't know. It's pretty ugly. I'm sure that you can take some shots on Tyler Anderson, but I'm really not that interested at all.
You mentioned the weather. I brought it up on the screen here. So Ross weather report, he's turned it to orange in Cleveland versus Chicago. And since everyone's been rate limited on Twitter, TweetDeck's working just fine. So I brought this up for everybody. Let me see if I can. Oh, look at this. I know what I'm doing on my control pluses and minuses to bring everything up here. So Roth basically says it's raining over Wrigley Field. He thinks they could be stationary. The radar looks like it's sort of moving, but maybe the storm's getting a little bit bigger. So just know this is now orange, I believe, from Kevin Roth. So when I see orange, that is a little bit of a risk. So that did change from earlier in the day when I think it was yellow orange or something like that. It's now full orange, and Roth does see some postponement risk. So thank you, Tim, for bringing that up. And thankfully, Twitter has not blocked everything from everybody. We're still able to see a tweet from Roth. TJ, we got you in here, Mr. I want to thank you for that Brandon Nimmo home run. That's pretty good. That was the +6 whatever. That's paying for everything. So we're basically free rolling into tonight. If you guys followed us into that, if you want more Spidey bombs, get the likes. TJ, what do you want? I'll let you set the numbers. We're at 26 right now.
It was a pretty good morning. Some home run picks hitting, got some parlays that are looking really, really strong right now. I had Justin Turner and Nimmo and Acuna, and I think there's one other that hit too, parlayed with Eovaldi over 5 strikeouts, and Baltimore's pitcher over 5 strikeouts as well, or over 6 strikeouts. So 2 things going pretty well. We got 161 people watching. Let's do the same as this morning. Let's go 50 for the first, 75 for the second, 100 for the third. And in terms of pitching today, I agree with Tim. I think on Fanduel, it has to be Glasnow. And then on DraftKings, I think it has to be Glasnow and Kirby. BB was my favorite tournament pitcher on the slate before this weather stuff. And now I kind of have it where I have a contrarian team that's a full Seattle stack, and I have it with BB right now. Just based on if Glasnow fails and that game plays, I feel like I'm going to be in a very, very good spot for that lineup. And that's only in large field stuff. I do like the idea today of just because like this weather should make it so that Glasnow is pretty mega chalk. Glasnow and Kirby should both be pretty mega chalk. I think if you want to take some cheap shots, there's crazier things you can do than Ryan Nelson. Honestly, even on FanDuel, like 6,800, if you want to play Ryan Nelson in a tournament and then just load up on Dodgers, play Ohtani against him, play a couple your favorite Coors bats, and you can do literally whatever you want. I think that's somewhat interesting. And then on DraftKings, where he's 4K, he's probably just an opener. He's not stretched it out, but Brendan White is 4K. And this slate is gross. Like, it's gross outside Kirby and Glasnow. Basically, if those guys fail, you might not need more than 10 from your pitcher today, just based on the size of this slate, with it getting potentially cut down, losing Stroman and Bibby, whatever his name is. And so, with that being said, I think you can try a 4K Brendan White. He's got a 33% K rate. If he goes 3 innings and strikes out 4 or 5 guys without giving up a run, that might be absolutely all you need.
Yeah, I'm very contrarian. Will be taking the pitcher in cores because everybody's going to be taking the bats in cores today, which we'll get to in just a little bit. So we're currently at 52 likes. TJ, that means Spidey bomb number 1. Rob, hit the music.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thief.
All right, Spidey bomb number 1 today. We are going with my highest owned player on the entire slate. We had good luck with a plus 680 bet this morning, and we're going to run it back with another plus 680 bet. Miguel Vargas going up against Daniel Lynch. Plus 680 on FanDuel. He is Spidey bomb number 1.
All right, I'll get that, and I'll follow you in on that. Any home run bet in TJ, just send me we got the Slack. Just send all the home run bets. Just send them my way. All right, just keep throwing them my way. That's no problem for me to ride your coattails. Even
for
when you're,
what it's worth, the website that I place my bets on, it has a maximum stakes that you're allowed to win in a day.
Yeah.
Is 200K, and because I have so many different parlays in there, I'm maxed out for the day, and so I don't actually have a Vargas bet in because I'm limited for the day. So the only ones I actually have in for the rest of the nights are bets and Ohtani.
Tim, I mean, I can only win 200K today. It's a sad world, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's not happening, right? It's just like that's what like the maximum amount is.
Yeah, I understand.
My favorite TJ moment was when he told Andre that he missed $1 million by 2 legs in a big parlay, and Andre didn't even know. I thought that was one of the funniest moments, and Andre's like, "Oh, I didn't even know. I only missed by 2 legs."
Yeah, Andre loves the $1 million parlays, and you can get it. So, this one of the sites needs to do like a pick insurance, right? Where if you make a 6 or 7 or 8 and one loses, they just remove that leg and give you like a reduced payout a little bit or something, right? Come on, the parlays are juiced enough. Come out with some new game, some new format, something. Give us something in sports betting. It's time for some innovation, if you ask me. But anyway, it's just a little rant. Let's what are we at? 61 likes, get up to 75. We'll get Spidey bomb number 1 or number 2. Let's go offense, TJ. We've got the Dodgers and we've got Coors Field. You got to pick one side of that. Or would you rather play the Dodgers, who have actual good? What do you got, TJ?
I just saw some odds on what the second Spidey bomb is, and holy crap! I just need everybody to hit the like button so we can get over 75, so I can give it because it's wildly juicy.
All right, let's everyone hit that, please. Offense, TJ, you got to choose the Dodgers, real life, actual good baseball players, or Detroit and Colorado against some bad pitching in Coors. Who you got?
Dodgers are my number 1 stack today. They're who I'm going to in single entry. They're my highest owned in my MME builds as well. I got something in the 121, then I got some large field stuff where I'm going contrarian, and then I got the MME build in the $1 150 max. So Dodgers I'm going the most heavily overweight on. Detroit is coming in second for me. Like it's Coors and they're just so cheap, and I like a lot of these Detroit batters. Like they're not a great team, but they have some individual bats with some power who aren't too bad. Arizona and the Angels I think are kind of my next tier. The Angels I don't love as much quite as a full stack, but I do really like them as a mini stack. Ohtani is my favorite bat on the slate. And then Colorado actually kind of falls below those teams for me. And then I'm mixing in some Tampa Bay as well. And that's the entirety of my pool.
All right, Tim, from the cash game perspective, generally what I found, especially if you're playing Glass now and or Kirby, you basically end up with almost a full core stack set due to salary restrictions, especially if you want to try to squeeze Ohtani in there. Is that generally, from a general idea how the cash game lineups have filled for you tonight?
Yeah, it's all about cores tonight and cash. For what it's worth, like I don't know, like I think for single entry, I'm gonna be stacking Arizona just to get leverage and hope that cores busts. But I mean, if you're purely playing cash games tonight, you're getting to a ton of Tigers and then a couple Rockies, and then I think the priority you either got to spend up for Ohtani or bets. It's one of the two. I think probably Ohtani is the priority, but I think it's kind of close because I really like that Betts has shortstop eligibility. And there's a couple first basemen, at least on DraftKings, that I'd rather play. So it's kind of interesting. Of course, you could play Ohtani in the outfield, but I don't know. It's pretty close. So if you can find a way to play both of them, that's ideal. But right now, I'm only playing one.
All right, Tim, stay right there. We'll get back to you for some position by position. We got to go back to TJ. We're at 78 likes, TJ. Please tell me, this is on our sponsor FanDuel, if you are a new user on FanDuel Sportsbook, if you're in one of those states where you can use it, I can get up to a $1,000 in bonus bets. Read the terms and conditions, but thank you to FanDuel for allowing all the new users to participate with some nice bonus bets. TJ, Spidey Bomb number 2, let's do it.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we can't go to FanDuel for this one. I don't mind it. It's not terrible. And actually, since we started the show, even over on Caesars, the odds have gone down. He's plus 830 on FanDuel, but at Caesars, plus 1,000. Miguel Garcia is leading off today, going up against a lefty, Julio Arias. He's coming back fresh off of injury. On the season, he's given up a 241 ISO to righties so far. Garcia, respectable in his own right. And so leading off, getting that extra at bat today, Garcia is Spidey Bomb number 2 and get him for plus 1,000 at Caesars. If you want to go over to FanDuel for that,
plus 1,100. I just got it at
1,100. There you go. You want to go over on FanDuel and parlay it with the first one, the 830 and the 680 together, you're looking pretty nice. But otherwise, I'd go to Caesars for that.
That's almost $1 million parlay. You put those two together, the odds get that high. All right, TJ, catcher. Again, probably not the main position. You can always play Will Smith on FanDuel, but you need to save a little bit of salary. So what are you doing? It looks like a position, again, this is sort of like the early slate where there's Acuna and there's Ohtani. We had Acuna in the first slate. We had Ohtani on the second slate. If you want to fit these guys in, especially with quality pitching, you have to make concessions elsewhere in your lineup. Catcher looks like that spot for me tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if you're I would definitely prioritize getting Ohtani and Betts together. And so with that, you probably lose Will Smith because I'm taking some cheap shots at pitching. Will Smith is still my highest owned catcher, but if I need to punt, I don't mind Gabriel Moreno. I currently right now have 20% Moreno, Eric Haas, and Matt Dice. Those three are split at 20. I got Will Smith more than everybody else, sprinkling in a little bit of Wins and Betancourt. And then every lineup that does not have Tyler Glass now does have Cal Raleigh.
You're muted.
You're muted.
I think Britt's muted.
Yeah, I'm back. I thought I was going to sneeze. Sorry, and I didn't end up sneezing. Which cheap catcher are we going to roll out tonight? Because I was looking at Bo Naylor, I needed every ounce of salary I could get, 2,600. PPD risk on that one. So maybe you go down to wins. I don't really want to use these guys. I'm trying to find maybe an extra couple $100 to get Moreno back into my lineup, but I'm having a little trouble. I want Moreno from the cheap at, but if you got to sacrifice, wins is probably next for me.
Yeah, I would try to get to Marino, but it's not an absolute priority. You're right. I guess wins would be fine. I currently have Marino in cash and in my single entry team, so he's my favorite catcher. And just so everybody knows, Dodgers, Royals are in a delay, but Roth wasn't too worried about that one, so I'm not changing anything in terms of my teams with that game. But I'm just trying to give everyone the info.
And then at first base, Tim, let's stay with you from the cash game perspective. You can play on DraftKings. You can play Ohtani at first. You can play him in the outfield. I think I prefer him in the outfield because you've got Torkelson is 3,800 on DraftKings, and then on FanDuel, I'm on CJ Cron, just trying to get as much Coors exposure as I can with the salaries that allow me to also play Ohtani.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you just said. Definitely Torkelson on DraftKings, move Ohtani to the outfield, Freddie Freeman for tournaments, Christian Walker for tournaments. I'm very heavy on this Arizona team tonight. I'm hoping that they're the big stack for my single entry GPP team. Other than that, I don't have much interest in anybody else.
TJ, what's your take on first base?
I got Ohtani, Torkelson, Walker, Freeman. That it just basically takes up the entirety of my lineup constructions. All throughout all of my lineups, I have the slightest amount of Cron, Miguel Cabrera, and Luke Raley, but almost all my lineups it's Ohtani, Torkelson, Walker, and Freeman.
Yeah, I feel if you go away from the big names at first base today, I mean, it's going to be hard to make that up, I think, especially with Miguel Cabrera, but sometimes you gotta play him to make the stack work. We're 17 likes away. You got another Spidey bomb for us, TJ, at 100?
I do got another one ready at 100. We got a new tweet from Roth due to the delay in Kansas City. He says, a late start announced in KC, maybe for that tiny shower zipping near the ballpark. Adds risk, I suppose, but hopefully it's a very short delay. Not even sure why there is one.
Yeah,
so seems like we're going to get that one done right quick. But if they don't announce a start time, then maybe we need to be a little worried. Obviously, with that being in 10 minutes, we're not going to have much time to adjust, but I'm not changing anything.
I'm looking at the radar. I'm not too worried about that one right now. All right, we're running out of time, Tim. Let's go second base, maybe 2 or 3 cash game plays.
Yeah, second base is really easy. It's Miguel Vargas, both sites. That should absolutely be a plug-in play, no questions asked. Andy Ibanez on FanDuel. You can play him at third base or outfield or at second if you want to get a little bit different. But Vargas is definitely the priority. Basically the same exact thing on DraftKings. It's Vargas in cash games.
Yeah, TJ tournaments.
Yeah, Vargas, I have in 50% of my lineups today. From there, it's, I guess, mostly just stat guys for me outside of Vargas and Ketel Marte. Andy Ibanez is fine. Walls and Castro are the only other guys in my pool, but I got 50% Vargas.
All right, if you guys have questions, start getting them in now. So right when we're done position by position, we can get to those. Third base, Tim, who are some of the top targets?
It's Andy Ibanez, Ryan McMahon, if you have the salary, or Emmanuel Rivera, I think is a pretty decent punt as well.
Yeah, agree on all 3 of those, salary dependent. And then TJ, if Coors along with, basically Coors in general is going to be high owned, is there anyone not in Coors that you want to use to maybe hit a home run?
Mr. Spidey Mom, Miguel Garcia, I really like today. 3K leading off, third base eligible. Ryan McMahon I like as well. I'm getting to some Jonathan Scope, a little Yanni Hernandez. I wanted to get to more Evan Longoria than I am. And then I'm mixing in some Rivera and Rendon.
14 more likes for Spidey Bomb 3. We'll recap all of them for any of you late joiners in just a little bit. Shortstop, Tim. Again, Coors looking pretty good. You got your choice of a couple guys. Baez a little expensive on DraftKings, so.
Yeah, Baez is probably a little too expensive, but Tovar is a good play. If you can get to Mookie, I would say obviously do it. Miguel Garcia is shortstop eligible on DraftKings. He's also shortstop eligible on Fanduel. So if you can get to bets, I think it's great. If not, I think Tovar is the play on both sites.
All right, TJ, we're 10 likes away. Keep them coming, guys. Shortstop for tournaments.
Got bets in half my lineups. I'm trying to play him at shortstop as much as possible. Garcia, you can play here as well. I don't mind Javi Baez, and then I also really like Wander Franco in tournaments.
All right, outfield, we have the future 3/4 or maybe even $1 billion man, Shohei Ohtani. You might want to play him. He's coming up. He's going to get the most insane contract I think pretty much anyone in baseball is going to get for a long time because he's the best pitcher and the best hitter. So he should get paid pretty much better than anybody else because he's two players. Outside of that, Tim, a couple other targets. Again, we've got cheap Coors players, Chris Bryant. If you want to mix in, Mickey Moniak on FanDuel is 2,700 as a cheap player like him too. The lefties looking pretty good today.
Yeah, Matt Vierling on DraftKings. Andy Ibanez, you can play in the outfield. I think Brenton Doyle would be an interesting play. Maybe not for cash, but definitely for tournaments because he's pretty cheap. So it's definitely these Detroit outfielders. And then I'm trying to look if there's any other like real cheap guy that I would be looking to get. I wanted to play some of these Cubs, but they're really just I can't do it in cash games.
And then TJ, tournaments. Real quick from tournaments, what's your overall take on that Cubs game? Can you still play some of these guys? And then other players you're looking to maybe swerve off of Coors or even Ohtani. Do you have a take on him all in, all out?
Yeah, so Ohtani's my third highest owned player behind Betts and Vargas, and I got 40% of them today, so I'm pretty close to all in as possible. I think my favorite Tiger is going to be going to be Carpenter, but I do really like Vierling as well. My favorite tournament plays in the whole outfield are going to be Martinez and Trout. Trout projecting for less than 10% ownership. I guess less than 20% ownership, depending on the projections you're looking at, less than 10 on our RG ones. Maybe it'll be a bit more than that, but he's not going to be that highly owned because of so many people are going to be prioritizing Betts and Ohtani. And it's the same for JD Martinez. I think he is a absolutely amazing tournament play today. Not very many people are getting to him whatsoever. And so he's probably my other favorite tournament play. I like some Moniak, and then I don't mind getting some Harold Ramirez and Jose Siri in tournaments either.
All right. If you guys have any questions, put them into YouTube or on the Discord into the live stream chat. We are 10 likes away from getting Spidey Bomb number 3. TJ, real quick. Recap Spidey Bombs 1 and 2 for the people that may have missed.
All right. Spidey Bomb number 1. I don't even remember who Spidey Bomb number 1 was.
I've lost it too. It was like 600 something on FanDuel. Let's see here.
We love your confidence in whoever it was. We're so happy that
it's
you were.
It's not the lack of confidence. It's
Vargas.
It's the ADHD, right? Miguel Vargas.
Vargas.
Miguel Vargas plus 680. We got plus 1100 on Michael Garcia going up against the Dodgers in that same game. Third one, why not? Let's keep it with that same game. One of my favorite DFS plays for tournament.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thief.
That works a lot better when the game doesn't start in 5 minutes. So we're sticking with that same game. JD Martinez, you can find him for plus 400 on FanDuel. I love him as a DFS play today, and he's a pretty good home run bet as well.
I have no problem clicking a JD Martinez home run. Basically any game, and today is about as good as it is. I think that he should be by plus 300, 350. So to be able to get 400 on that, I could certainly follow that in. Absolutely no problem on FanDuel. All right, that's in. Looking for questions. Don't see a ton in YouTube. I'm looking in the live stream chat. So I'm going to give out a couple bets I'm on. Now, I was on the Rays last night. I got them a little bit better of a price than they're on now. And I know Tim pre-show said he's on the Rays as well. So I'm on the Rays to win today. They have the much, Kirby's good, but Glasnow's better. Offense is much better for the Rays. I just don't understand. This game shouldn't be close to even money. So getting them around minus 110, minus 120, depending on your book, is certainly something I'm on today. And Tim, you can back me up on that.
No, that was Rob actually.
Oh, that was Rob. Rob,
Yeah.
get in here.
Rob's gonna have to back you up on that one.
I knew it was all going on there, but yeah, I like the Rays. Anyone have any other bets? TJ, did you have anything from any of your parlays you haven't discussed?
No, I got bets on Ohtani and bets on Betts and Ohtani to hit home runs. If I wasn't limited for the day, I'd be adding Garcia as well as Vargas, as well as JD Martinez, and probably Christian Walker and Ketel Marte as well. So that would be my night parlay if I wasn't limited for the day. But I'm really looking forward to tracking the bets on Ohtani. Hopefully we get something from them, because I made 10 different players with multiple combinations of 5-man parlays, and currently 6 of them have hit so far. So if we can go 8 for 10, it's going to be a pretty great day.
Good day for TJ. All right, questions are coming in. Mitchell Tyler, YouTube, favorite catcher, DraftKings, large field tournaments. TJ, what do you got?
Will Smith or Matt Tice if you got to go cheap.
All right, Flying Armbar. This is the wrong show. It's not MMA. This is baseball, but you're welcome anyway here. Favorite second and third base for Fanduel. Tim, let's go to you for that one.
Well, it'll be Vargas, and then probably Andy Ibanez or Rivera.
Yeah, I could definitely. That would be exactly who I was looking at. Amateur Hour, favorite catchers, single entry DraftKings tournament. So, TJ, from the large field to a single entry, does that change anything at the catcher spot for you?
No, same thing. The only other thing I'd really want to add is, like, if I'm not playing Glass now, I do really like Cal Raleigh.
SHB Ball, DraftKings Cash. So, Tim, McKinstry and Carpenter or Ibanez and Bryan?
The second one.
Yeah, I'd take the second one as well, pretty easily, in my opinion. Just seeing.
Who's Lewis? Lewis is DHing and batting second for the Diamondbacks.
Did they change the lineup? Let's see here.
Kyle Lewis is batting second up against the lefty. 2.3K.
Well, that changes things.
Let's see. Don't have a ton of time because we got like literally 30 seconds to lineup block. But let's see here. On DraftKings, 2,300, hitting second. What are you going to do with that right now?
Or no, I guess it still hasn't quite yet. He's in there instead of... Oh, Dominic Fletcher's in that lineup too?
Yeah, they're punting today, it looks like. So
there's not full on. There's no, like, Marte, Walker, Gurriel, they're all still in there. There's just no Perdomo, and as well as no Longoria and no Alec Thomas.
Yeah, Longoria was a reasonable play on both sides today for some power. I was hoping he would be in there, but
I was struggling to get to him. I'm kind of happy about that now.
So what do you do with Lewis, right? So we're going to basically be at lineup lock. We still have cores. Do you prefer? Would you do anything, Tim? I'll start with you from tournaments with Lewis. 2,300. If you didn't have Ohtani, you could definitely mix around your lineup now in the outfield to get Ohtani pretty easily using him with some leftover salary. Would you want him over one of the cheap Detroit outfielders, or probably still just run with one of the Coors outfielders?
I would imagine that he's got some pinch hit risk. So in tournaments, I'm fine with it. Cash games, I think, is the more difficult question. I think cash games, I would still stick with those cheap Tiger guys, unless you have a lineup that you can get to like Betts and Ohtani, and then maybe play Lewis. But I would imagine Lewis has some pretty significant pinch hit risk.
I would agree there, but it's kind of one of those things that, like, people are playing Tyler Anderson today. And the one thing with Tyler Anderson, like, he could probably give up 3 or 4 runs and still go 6-ish innings. So I feel like even if he does have a pinch hit risk, you could still maybe get like 3 good at-bats from him.
Yeah, they put those guys up towards the top to get the splits advantage for 2 at-bats, maybe 3. So, I think there is some pretty good pinch hit risk there, especially with him up towards the top of the lineup. Looks like that's all the questions. We've hit lineup block. Maybe, let's see here. There was one more. Second pitcher to pair with Glass now on DraftKings. So I would have just played both pitchers in that game on DraftKings.
Yeah, I just would have gone Kirby.
You're not playing a pitcher from Detroit or Colorado. I mean, it's really slim pickings now that we've hit lock. So you're probably just stuck with whatever you were.
Ryan Nelson.
All right. I think that's going to about do it for today. Again, thanks to Fanduel for sponsoring the show. If you are a new sportsbook user, you can get up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Make sure to read the terms and conditions on that. Let's go home runs. Let's go Rays for me and for Rob and Tim. I don't know. No, any bets for you?
I don't know what his odds are, but I like Christian Walker to hit a home run. I don't know what his actual odds are, but I like that play to hit a home
They're
run.
pretty good over on FanDuel. You can get Walker for plus. Oh, it's not plus 330, which is.
I was hoping
like our projections for him are plus 310. So.
Yeah, that might be a little short, but I like him to hit a home run tonight.
All right, so there's an extra, not an official Spidey bomb, but a Tim's trot. Tim's take. I don't know. I'm coming.
That's pretty good.
That worked good. That was on the spot.
We'll go with that.
All right. Thanks to Tim and TJ for joining me and putting up with me on both shows today. For Rob for producing. For everyone for watching. For TJ and Tim, thanks for watching, everybody, and we out you.